Hey guys, how's it going? AC Milan MTL here, and welcome to the January transfer market episode one that I will be doing on my channel. And I'm just waiting for a few more people to get on the channel at the moment. Um, to see the event. Of course, if you guys have Facebook and Twitter, it will be good um, to actually or put this link of the video in your Facebook and Twitter, so more people could watch um, the live stream, of course. And I will be starting in a very few minutes. In the meantime, these are the links to my Twitter and Facebook. If you still haven't followed me and liked me on these two social networks. So here's my Facebook. All you have to do is um, type in AC Milan MTL, and you will find the page on that. So all you have to do is go on that page and like it. And if you don't have Facebook and you have Twitter, just do the same thing. Go on Twitter and type in AC Milan MTL. You will see my page there, and you could just follow me on that, as I always put Milan news over the days, and of course keep everyone up to date with the live match feeds when Milan plays. And that's about it. So I guess we could start the live event at the moment. We'll be starting. And to start off, I'm going to be talking to you about the friendly match that Milan was involved in today. The match against Pro Patria that was played in that city. And it was a friendly just as a warm-up. It was used as a warm-up for the restart of the season, which will be this Sunday, of course, against Siena. But unfortunately, the game didn't go as planned. The game obviously started, and Allegri fielded a very young formation, a very young starting lineup, including Gabriel Annette, and up front there was Niang, El Sharawi, very young players, of course, and a lineup that was quite unusual from the starting 11 that we normally see. Acerbi also got the start, which we hadn't seen in a very long time, and that's it. So, fortunately, the game didn't go as planned, and there was about 25 to 30 minutes played in the game when the game got suspended due to racial chants from the opposing team ultras. And this is a very unfortunate event to see still these days in 2013, because it's very unfortunate to have people stop a game because of racial chants. So this is really unfortunate because it could have been a good test. I mean, to get back into action before the season resumed on Sunday. And unfortunately, Milan had to stop the game after 30 minutes because of these outrageous fans, and so the game ended 0-0, of course, because there wasn't much game going on. But Milan did create good chances with El Sharawi, and also Muntari scored a goal, which was ruled offside by the referee. But other than that, they didn't have many problems against Pro Patria, of course. Other than that, really unacceptable behavior by the fans. Really, it's not something that you would want to see in any game, of course, no matter what the league is, and especially for a bad side. I don't want to say bad, but a very unexperienced side like Pro Patria, playing in Serie D. When you're playing a team in Serie A, there needs to be some sort of respect at least. But these fans were making racial remarks against mostly our black players, such as Mutari, Niang, and Boateng. But I've been reading somewhere that even Esharawi was affected by these remarks. And I personally think that Milan did a very good thing to stop playing and, of course, um, stop playing and send out a message to everyone in the football world to say that we would not tolerate this behavior in the future, and Allegri even said that if this happens once again, um, of course this will happen again. I mean, the players will walk out and stop the game. So that's about it for the friendly that I want to talk about. Now we'll get into the January transfer window. Don't forget, guys, if you just tuned in, first of all, thanks for everyone that tuned in so far. And if you guys could please share this link on Facebook and Twitter, it will be great help, as the more people, the better, as I will be also posting questions for you guys to comment on. And of course, you guys could help me out and comment on what you think about certain decisions that are being made by the management. So we'll start right away. I see you guys have been commenting. Lots of you have been commenting about saying that they were already making monkey noises when Montari scored. And Forza Juve Canada says, on behalf of a Juventus fan, I'll admit it that it's pretty disgraceful. So not a very good image in part of this particular event that happened today. Very bad, something that no one wants to see. But that's about it, guys, for the friendly. Now I'll be talking to you about the transfer market, finally. And obviously, the main point of discussion right now is Robinho and Pato. Two players that have been playing in Milan for a couple of years. Pato, obviously, longer. He joined in 2008. Started playing in 2008, at the beginning of 2008, only 23 years old. He won the Serie A and the Supercoppa with Milan at in 2010-2011, that great year that we had when Ibrahimovic was the main protagonist of that season. Obviously, one that we can't forget since it was so recent. And he's a player that, of course, had very good promising attributes that could obviously evolve the game whenever he wanted. He could evolve his actions. Very promising striker that could change the match in any situation by himself. We remember when he started, when he was very young. He started and he was doing just the unexpected, because we really didn't think that this player could provide such a great contribution to the team from the start. By the way, while I'm talking, guys, if you could see the bottom part of the video right now, please post your comments what you think about the possible sales of Pato and Robinho, which will probably happen in the next few days. Now back to Pato. This player, 23 years old, a whole career in front of him, but unfortunately, as you all know, many difficult injuries to overcome happened to this player, and this was the main cause of why Pato wanted to leave. He wanted to breathe something new. He wanted to live something new, of course. and he wants to leave Milan because of this. He also wants to leave to Brazil because he wants to make the World Cup squad. And obviously, knowing that he's not getting much playing time because obviously of his injuries, etc., of his bad form, he wants to get a new start, a new beginning in Brazil, where he will hopefully manage to convince the Brazilian coach to include him in the World Cup squad of next year. So this is one of the main reasons why Pato and Robinho also want to leave Milan. And Pato, he will probably leave very soon. In fact, either today or tomorrow, the official statement by Milan will occur, where they would say that the Corinthians have signed Pato. It is 15 million euros what they want, which is a lot of money, of course, but um, I think it's a bad statement in my opinion, mainly because 15 million for a player like him is really not worth it. Because this summer he was offered 35 million euros by PSG, and Milan refused with this because they said that, of course, they didn't want to sell him as well. Instead, they sold Ibrahimovic and Thiago Silva for that almost that same amount. But other than that, I really don't like the bad investment that we made with this, and it's something that it's either you do it now or never. Because of course he's not going to be playing anytime soon, and obviously the same problems might continue to happen with this player, and so it's either we give him now for that price, or we will have to give him away for even cheaper. And this is not something that we would want, of course. So it's better to give him now in a way than later, mainly for the money, and obviously to hopefully reinvest this money soon into someone that will contribute to the team what Pato has been contributing in these past few seasons. Just reading some comments from you guys now. Vlad COBHC says Pato is practically already sold, as I said. I love him at Milan, but you have to go. Maybe he can still return in a few years. Aria Alaverdi says Berlusconi did say Pato promised he will return in 2 or 3 years, and in fact he did. He mentioned today that Pato will go to Corinthians, but with the promise they'll return to Milan in the future. So obviously this clause that Corinthians are paying right now, it's something that that Milan wouldn't really want to give him away right away. They would want him to stay, obviously, at Milan in the future. They kind of want to give him away as if they could see the development in this player, if he could develop in these few years and come back to Milan strong. Now, this is something that we will have to see during the years to see if his injury will persist, to see if his injury problems will continue. It's something that will take a lot of time to find out, and right now we have to sell him and hope for the best. Continuing the comments, Vlad says that I'm not sure about Robinho if he will be sold. I read Galliani said that they want 10 million from him, and that even when they pay 500k less, they won't accept it. I will be talking about Robinho in a few minutes. Special hi to Acrylic 47. JJAJ254 says Robinho might stay, but Pato will leave. And the Barteru says, I think Robinho is just homesick. I don't think he has a chance to be in the World Cup squad. So, continuing with this discussion about Pato and Robinho, Robinho, 28 years old, still has many years, I guess, in front of him to continue his career. I think we should keep one of these two players. Of course, Pato will leave, no doubt, but I would really, really awful. I mean, not in terms of performances all the time, but finishing really terrible on this part. Um, so it's something that he's a player that I would want him to leave, but only if we get a good replacement for. Because seriously, technical, he's fine, he's good, but um, I don't think he has the finishing touches in him, and we need finishers because right now the only finisher we really have is Esharawi, and we can't rely on him the whole time. Um, so he's probably gonna go to Santos, this player, Robinho, but obviously not for the price that is requested by Galliani and Berlusconi. 10 million is just too much for Santos, and they can't pay it. Of course, they actually offered a bit less, 7, 8 million, but I doubt it that Galliani will want to lose a few other millions in that. Some more comments here regarding Robinho and Pato. The Barthrough says we have a lot of strikers: Esharawi, Pazzini, Bojan, Yang, and Boateng. He sometimes plays on striker position. After Pato and Robinho sail, we should buy one striker. Berlusconi already said that if these two players leave, they will definitely invest in a striker. Of course, we'll be talking about the possibilities of the players that might come to Milan after I finish the talk with Robinho. And it's something that we obviously need, another striker, because yes, you didn't mention Esharawi, Pazzini, Boyan, and Yang. Personally, I would love to see Esharawi, Boyan, and Yang start all at the same time in a 4-3-3 formation. That would be just great. If you could think of this, Nyan could play in the middle, and Esharawi Boyan obviously will deliver that speed that is needed on the wings. Will be really great. So that might be a solution. But other than that, I mean, there's a lot of players that need to come to Milan in order to obviously bring a squad, a competitive squad to the league. Because right now we lack in defenders and midfielders, but the current talks are only about forwards and other things. Now, continuing with the comments, Vlad says the yellow press said that Rubinho said he was in a nightclub or so, and that he and Pato had to leave because Drogba will get their salaries. Ari Alverde says it will also be good to see how Pato gets on in the Confederation Cups. Now, I personally don't think Pato will be in the Confederation Cup this year because his form was really terrible. But if obviously could come to the game in Corinthians and deliver good performances, he might get the call up. But I see it very difficult because he's still not 100%, and he will need to be 100% in order for him to play in the Confederations Cup. Now, I will be talking about the possible transfers, the possible buyings that we could do this transfer window. But here are the names, guys. Drogba, Balotelli, Osvaldo, Tarabat, Destro, and Stecklenburg are the names that are so hot right now for Milan. Now, I will be talking about each player individually, but before starting, I have to say that Berlusconi mentioned that Drogba, Balotelli, and Osvaldo are not between his plans at the moment. Now, this is mainly because, as I said, Drogba has very high wages, and Berlusconi is not willing to spend millions on wages for this player. He's very old. I mean, yes, he had a good history behind him. 34 years old, won't be lasting at Milan for very long. So why would he want to waste money on this player when in a few years he will stop playing and he's just too old for Milan? As Yes, he will be good for the youth. Obviously, will bring a lot of experience for them, but he's not between the Milan plans at the moment. Mainly because obviously Milan want to build a young squad for the future. They want to invest on the youth, and they don't want to keep old players in their team. As you can see, year after year, many veterans are leaving, and Drogba wouldn't be part of his plans at all. But of course, Drogba is getting continuously linked to this player, to this Milan side. But in the end, he won't come because, as I said, Berlusconi doesn't want to invest in old people, veteran players, and he wants a young squad. The next name that is up is, of course, Mario Balotelli, a player that many fans will want in Milan and many others wouldn't want because of his attitude and his problems that he has been causing in his team, Man City, of course. But it's something that obviously Milan wouldn't want as well. Milan is a side that they don't want many problems in their club. Of course, no club wants their problems, but many other teams they look at the quality of the players before choosing over the problems. But sorry about that. Balotelli is only 22 years old. Very in my opinion at least, very good player. Of course, had a very successful youth, already gaining many trophies when he used to be playing back at Inter. Of course, he was part of the Mourinho generation at Inter, and such a young player. And I mean, he has won so much for his team. Also, last season, the Man City, he won the Premier League with Mancini. But he's a player that causes way too many problems for Milan and for any team. As you can see, if you've read the latest news, he got into a fight with Mancini today at training. And these are problems that may occur at any time with this player. And he's not guaranteed that he will behave, of course. Yes, the situation is getting better, slightly better year after year. He had an amazing Euro 2012. He proved his quality, that he still has the quality and everything. But of course, mainly his problem is that his attitude. If it wasn't for his attitude, if it wasn't for his attitude, Milan will get him right away, in my opinion, with the sale of Pato and Robinho. Now, just reading some comments here, talking once again about Pato and Robinho, Aria Alaverdi says, I think Bojan can replace Robinho well, since he plays in a pretty much same position. As I said, Bojan is a very young player that's very good, and he can bring a lot to this team. I know he can bring a lot to this team. Because every time he comes on, I just hate the fact that when Allegri doesn't play him from the start, this player could do a lot for Milan, and I'm sure of it. As you can see, when he came on against Roma, in 10 minutes, he made a difference. He made a difference, and got himself a goal as well. So definitely, Bojan could replace Robinho in that position. Continuing with the comments, the Barthrough says Drogba doesn't fit in the Berlusconi plan by young players. Exactly, he wants young players, Berlusconi, and not old. Vlad says I think Drogba will be the best option for the strike force. That too young and a leader. He could pull us up. I don't think Balotelli is capable of that. Yes, he is a leader. He's a very experienced player. But he's not a player that Milan would want to continue their plans with because of his age. Forza Juve Canada says, I think Osvaldo will be the best fit for Milan. For 15 million, Milan will be getting a very good player, who in my opinion is extremely underrated. Yes, Osvaldo is a very good player. I will be talking about him really soon, actually. I will be talking about him next. Osvaldo is a really good player that's been doing a lot for Roma. He's been scoring a lot of goals for them. And the main thing is him too, he has some attitude problems. Many times he loses his head and gets silly red cards for really no reason at all. And really, it's something that um, is kind of making this player a bad reputation, have a bad reputation. But he is a very underrated player. I mean, this player could deliver a lot to the team. And I personally think that we will need to see how he fits with Milan. This player has not only been playing good with Roma, but he's also been having very good games with Italy in the qualifiers when he's been scoring a lot of goals for them. So, I mean, he's still a very young player. He's only 26. He still has a lot of games and years in front of him, of course. So we would have to see with what happens with him. Continuing with the comments here, many people writing about Balotelli. Um, Saying that Berlusconi said that Balotelli doesn't really like him as a man, and also said that Niang is better. That's exactly true. Berlusconi did mention that Niang is better, and he is in his plans for the future. As you know, a few months ago, he was offered a contract extension, Niang, on his birthday. I believe it was in November, and that he obviously accepted, and he is obviously going to continue with Milan for a few more years, and I believe this player can bring a lot to Milan as well. He's very young, and we've seen him against Regina. His qualities just keep improving game after game. This player, as any young player, of course, like De Sciglio, El Shaarawy, the more they play, the more they will improve in their game, of course, and it's something that will obviously improve over time. Continuing with the comments here, Vlad says, but won't Bojan return to Barcelona at the end of the season? He isn't completely ours. That's right. Yes, we did loan Bojan, and at the end of the season, we have a buyout clause, which is 15 million, and it's a lot of money. And it's going to be a very risky decision, in what is my opinion, because I think that when it comes to the time of the signing, if Bojan will continue in Milan, they will look at his season performance, of course, see how well he did, and I believe they should get the best out of him in this season, and they shouldn't always keep him on the bench. He should continue in his games. He should obviously continue playing and keep playing, because I know this player could bring out something very good for Milan. He needs to keep playing. Allegri needs to put him in his game plan. The next possible signing that we'll be talking about is Tarabat. Now, this player is a Moroccan nationality, very young player as well, 23 years old, so it could obviously be in Berlusconi's plans. He plays for QPR. The only thing that I see that is not very attractive to signing him is that he signed a 3-year contract extension, keeping him at the club in QPR until 2016. Which is something that obviously, if we get him, we would have to pay something more, which is something that I don't know if Berlusconi will really want to invest in, but it's something that it's another player that we can look at. The only thing that's not really attractive too is that he's playing at QPR. Obviously, last place in the English Premier League. They have a few good players, but not many. But he is a main figure at QPR. He's one of the main players there. He's been scoring most goals for them, and he's a midfielder. So this player could really bring something to QPR. And I personally wouldn't risk on him right away because, of course, he's 23 years old and he's been playing at QPR. Obviously, the experience in the English Premier League might bring something, but playing in QPR is not something that is very attractive, and it's not something a player that, in my opinion, will be of Milan caliber. Of course, there's many players like that on our team at the moment that are not of Milan caliber, to be honest, and it's something that we don't really have to continue having these players that are not at our caliber, and we must invest in players that we are secure that they will be that they will have a good future at Milan and that they will provide something great to the team, and obviously experience and good style of play. And now the next one is Mattia Destro. Now this player plays in Roma once again. Very young player, 21 years old. Um, 21 years old, very young player. I believe this player has a great future ahead of him, amazing future, and definitely will be an amazing purchase if Milan managed to get him. Berlusconi said when he mentioned that he doesn't want Drogba, Balotelli, Osvaldo, he mentioned that Destro will be between his options. He would obviously rather invest in Destro than any of these other veterans. Um, so yes, Destro will be an amazing addition to the team. I would personally love to have him there, and really, he's been doing good with Roma, of course. Great quality for him, and really, it's a player out of all these players that are mentioned here. He's probably the player that I would want out of all these. Obviously, the only possible outcome of this, if this player would come or not to Milan, is if he obviously, if we obviously sell Pato and Robinho, and we need the money, of course, to invest in these players. Now, the last player I want to be talking to you guys about is Stecklenburg. But before that, I'm going to be reading some more comments here, as you guys made some comments on Tarabat. The Bartru personally doesn't like Tarabat. He has no respect to Milan. Now, I don't really know the situation with him and Milan. If anything happened between them, if you guys know, please let me know. But I never heard anything concerning Tarabat lacking respect to Milan. Adi Alaverdi has a different opinion about Tarabat. He says he thinks he will do really well at Milan, and if he comes, he will also replace the likes of Robinho very well. Boateng and Emmanuel Cassano obviously came to Milan from Sampdoria to eventually go to Inter. So he was using as Milan as a transitional team in order to move on to a team of almost the same caliber. And personally, I don't like players like that. Players that don't have any ambition to get into a club, try it out, and see if they would want to continue their career at that club. And with the idea of Tarabat already saying that he would want to join Milan to later move to Barcelona, Real Madrid, is a player that no team would even accept, because he's already talking about another team before even entering that specific team. So it's something that I don't appreciate. And if that's the way he thinks, I wouldn't want him at the club personally. What else? JJ says, I think we'll get him. Destro. Hopefully we get him. LP Junior 17 says, can you see Roma let him in go already though? It's something that is quite hard. Um, it's something that obviously Roma will have to think about, but if the money's there, trust me, they would let him go. Of course, Milan is not a team that would want to spend too much money, but I don't know if they would want to purchase him permanently, maybe a loan, something like that. We would have to see. Arya says the stream is very slow at the moment for me. Yes, guys, there's a lot of viewers at the moment, so sometimes it may have to lag, but just refresh the page or wait a bit. It will be back to normal. Vlad saying, what about Biglia, Argentinian Italian nationality playing for Anderlecht, a very good playmaker as I follow him closely because I'm from Belgium. He could fit in our midfield. Yes, I will be talking about Biglia actually in the next episode. They are pretty much talking about the players that have been linked with Milan for many days and weeks, especially in December and early January. The players that were linked since a very long time. But obviously, starting from next week, every week I will be making an episode, and I will obviously refresh you guys with the new names, the new news, and etc. Sorry if I can't pronounce this, but Verzalan Crafter says, I think we need an experienced player. Tarabat is too young. I agree. Drogba is still too young, and as I said, I played in QPR, so not too much experience. The bar through says, isn't Destro just a little bit overrated, just considering his performances this season? I wouldn't say he's a bit overrated because this player, I think he has a bright future. We see him in the youth sides, we see him in the national team. This player could deliver something. Obviously needs more playing time. Still very young, so he would need to. We will need to obviously wait and see what happens. But if Milan get him, I wouldn't regret him one bit. I wouldn't regret this player one bit because I know he has a bright future ahead of him, and I'm sure of it. So the next player I will be talking about is Stecklenburg. Martin Stecklenburg, a very experienced goalkeeper that is playing for Roma at the moment. 30 years old, not the youngest of keepers, but he obviously has a lot of experience. Played for Ajax for 9 years, then obviously went to Roma. He doesn't want to be a second choice goalkeeper in Roma. If you guys watched the game against Milan against Roma a few weeks ago, there was a different keeper. There was a keeper called Goalkeeper. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but this goalkeeper really proved himself very well against Milan, and proved himself that he could take the starting position of Stecklenburg. So he's obviously gonna want to be a starter once again, because seriously, 30 years old is not old yet. 30 years old, you can even have 6-7 years in your career left, and that's a lot of games still, of course. So he obviously wants to have a starting position, and Abbiati's getting old, and seriously, this season might be his last season at Milan. He's getting old, Abbiati, and we're gonna need a new keeper. We're gonna need a new keeper because Amelia's there. He's okay. He's not the best keeper, and Stecklenburg could definitely be a world-class keeper. We've seen this guy play everywhere. The World Cup, he led the Netherlands to the finals in 2010 against Spain. We know this guy is an international keeper. He's amongst the best keepers in the world. And really, I would want this keeper at Milan because he could definitely bring a lot of experience and lots of security to our struggling defense at the moment. It's something that we definitely need. because of course, as a goalkeeper myself, many times goalkeepers can only do a certain amount of work. With no defense, the goalkeeper's job increases drastically in difficulty, and obviously you would want the best keeper out there to improve your defending, of course, because obviously the defense is not always there to make your work easy, as we have seen um, in, um, in Milan this season, and it's something that we obviously need. Now, some comments about Stecklenburg. Forza Juvecana says Stecklenburg already 30. I think that Milan should invest in a young keeper with good potential, someone like Andrea Consigli. Maybe we should have signed Gigi 12 years ago. Yes, I remember that. Andrea Consigli is a very good keeper, very young, plays for Atalanta. Very good keeper, young, promising, on top of his game all the time. But yes, we need a keeper. That's all we really need right now, because Stecklenburg, he has the experience and Consigli has the youth. There's other good keepers as well, as Vlad is mentioning, Perin or Leali. Perin plays for Pescara, Leali for Juve, I believe, and they're good keepers. They're really good keepers, and personally, I wouldn't see why we would get one of these though. The main reason is because this summer we acquired Gabriel from Brazil. Uh, Gabriel, a keeper that is also very young, and we even wasted a non-European spot for this goalie, for this goalkeeper. So really, I wouldn't see why we would even bother getting another young keeper. I really don't see the point if we would go out of our way to waste a non-European spot to get Gabriel, and then after we will get a few months later, 6 months later, we will go and invest in another young keeper. To me, it pretty much makes no sense. Um, if anything, we are definitely gonna get a new keeper by this summer, definitely, because Abbiati is gonna leave. We know this is probably Abbiati's last season. We can also see that he's been playing way less. Amelia has been preferred by Allegri over these past few games, and it's something that we definitely need a new keeper by June. Continuing with the comments, everyone's talking about offensive players we can buy, but I think most of all, we need some defenders. Exactly. We really need some defenders and midfielders, and I'm not liking the transfer rumors at the moment, because all we're focusing on is attacking players, where our problems are in defense and mids. We've seen our defenders and midfielders struggle from the beginning of the season till the end. We had very few good games, and other than that, I'm really not pleased with the defense. Apart from Destro, which is a very young player and very promising, and could definitely bring a lot to the team. But center backs, especially, we need new center backs. It's something that we definitely need to invest. We need a new center back by the end of the transfer window, of course. And yeah, I mean, I really don't like the discussion about all these attackers and everything. Yes, one is fine. If we get one attacker, it's fine. Because as I said, we have very young forwards coming up, and also with the youth system that we have, the attackers, it's not a problem that we definitely should resolve right now. The defenders is a way more important problem to fix. Of course, as I said, not many names have been linked. Obviously, defenders have not been linked to Milan. Hopefully, in the next few days, weeks, some defenders come into play. Obviously, there was the Romanian Kirikas, I believe, but his owner said that he's not for sale, and that's about it for the defenders. Still reading a few comments about the players that I've been mentioning today. There's a comment about Drogba, as I mentioned already before. I've heard a lot about Drogba, but what about his opinion? He would like to go to Chelsea? No, he wouldn't want to go back to Chelsea, personally. I don't think he would want to go back to Chelsea because this player, I mean, he had his time in Chelsea. He won titles. He won silverware with Chelsea. He went to China to live a new experience. Personally, I think for the money, but obviously didn't enjoy his time in China, and maybe now he wants to go back to Europe. But as I said, his wages are too high for an old player like him, and I personally believe that yes, he might bring a few attacking options to Milan in these few years. But what will it bring to the future? Why waste so much money on a player like Drogba that's already so old, and then kind of like give him away for nothing? With that money, we could definitely invest in youth and young players, and obviously, we wouldn't want to waste more money on old players. Astorines says Davide Astori as a goalkeeper. Yes, once again, a very young keeper, very promising. He's had very good games, even against Juventus. He had a very good game, as I remember. Um, as I said, there's many young keepers, and many of them are on contracts. And if Milan would have to go and buy out these players, they will obviously need to pay more than they will want to pay because of the contracts. Um, Wiesland Crafter says totally right. But if you were Galliani, which defender would you sign? That is a very good question. I this is something that we were linked to, and thank God it has been unlinked. But at one point, Lucio was linked to Milan, and it's something that I really wouldn't want at Milan because he's old and it's just not for Milan. He also had an history with Inter. He's been playing at Inter all his life. Went to Juve for a short term, and I really wouldn't want him at Milan, of course. Having an Interista at Milan would be a disgrace. But a defender that I would obviously like to come to Milan, and I've been wanting this player since last season. Uh, Obviously, it's not impossible, but it's very hard that he would be coming to Milan. Is Angelo Ogbonna. This defender is just young, very good defender, playing for Torino. He's very solid defender, and obviously could bring a lot to Milan at the center back position. Ogbonna will just be an amazing signing. Um, but really, at the moment, I see it's hard a bit because it would cost a lot, and Milan are at the low cost purchases. And personally, I wouldn't really. Um, I would want him to come to Milan, but Galliani and Berlusconi wouldn't really want to waste so much money right now. And unfortunately, this is what we have to put up with us Milanisti for a few years now, with this all low cost environment, and we have to put up with it and hope for the best. Personally, there's a lot of youth coming up, as I said before, in our Primavera, and if you would be coming to, if these players could rise up faster, and if these young players could rise up faster, and we can obviously make them play. Of course, there's Mastur, which is only 16, but he could come back to. You could come up to Milan. I think you can start playing as a professional in the first team at 17. So this player could offer for defense. Yes, we've been talking about this player in the summer. We wanted to sign him in the summer, and he never came. let's just say that Milan's keeping tabs on a lot of players, but there's not a lot of discussion about them, mainly because it's something that's not really they're not really looking in depth on these players. Um, but I there's a defender that's coming back to Milan in June, and that will be Taiwo. As you know, he's been loaned out to Kiev, and he will be coming back to Milan in June. It's a player that we might sell, keep. We will have to see with that player. As I said, there's many defenders that play good in France, but then when they come to Italy, it's a different style, and they obviously can't adapt the way that they would want to. So yeah, that's about it, guys, for this episode. As I said, I will be making an episode every week from now until the end of the transfer market, which is on January 31st. So there's all this time for Milan to make signings and sell players such as Robinho and Pato, which Pato is definitely going to leave. Today or tomorrow is supposed to be the final agreement between Galliani and Corinthians. And It's something that we didn't really want to see, but obviously we're gonna have to see, unfortunately. But apparently, we'll be coming back to Milan in a few years. Some very last comments, guys. This is all the time we have for today. Obviously, next week you guys can come back and post more comments about the new players that we'll be mentioning. Vlad says Jan Gambibo would be cool. Yes, and too, he was linked to Milan in the summer, but nothing happened. I heard some rumors about Armero, but I don't think he would be a good signing. Armero could be a solid player. He's not going to be coming in January. If anything, he's going to be coming in the summer transfer window, as I've been reading some articles. And Armero was another player that's strongly linked to Milan. He's been linked for the past few weeks, months. But Armero won't be coming to Milan this January, that's for sure. What about the latest on Strootman? As I said before, Milan are keeping tabs on lots of players. They're keeping track of these players that could possibly join Milan in the future, but there's no concrete evidence that these players will be coming to Milan as of yet. As I said, it's still very early in the transfer market, in the January transfer market. It's only January 3rd, and there's a whole month ahead of it. And really, we're going to have to wait and see for what happens with many of these players. As usual, from past experience, Milan is a team that obviously waits till the last week to make some last-minute signings. And guys, seriously, expect the same thing to happen this time around. Milan always wait for the end, the last few days to make them the signings, and really that's about it for that. Just reading on Twitter a few things. Many players and people praising Milan for what they did today at the friendly. They walked out on the game because of racist remarks by the opposing team. It's something that everyone needs to take care of and obviously do in order to decrease these racist chants. And that's it. So thanks guys all for watching. Don't forget the next game is on January 6th against Siena. That will be played at the San Siro. January 6th is on Sunday. It will be a great game, of course. We need to get back up and score and win this game, mainly because We need to bounce back from that result against Roma. We need to come back and get the 3 points, and obviously keep our. This is the last game of the first cycle, so it's the last team that we'll be playing, and after that, next week, we will restart the cycle, um, starting from Sampdoria. And it's a game that we need to win, of course. We need to win as many games as possible at the moment because we need the points and we need to reach a third place. We need at least a third place in order to get the Champions League, and right now we're 8 points away. So there needs to be a lot of work done. The right signings have to be made, etc. Um, if you guys still haven't done it, if you guys are new and you're new to the channel and you've been watching the live stream, it is the first time on the channel, please subscribe to the channel for more Milan news, for the latest Milan match reports after every game. Of course, I post match reports talking about the game in particular and players' performances. I also put news regarding Milan. Now that I got the live stream function, I will be making more live streams when there's news. So you guys could obviously comment while I talk, and it's something a great extra to have on the channel. And that's it. I also, if you're an Italian national team fan, I also put match reports for Italy. So that's another reason to subscribe. And if you guys still haven't done, please follow me and like me on the social media networks. Here's my Facebook, AC Milan MTL. Just type it in and like my page as I post Milan news throughout the week, and also give live match feeds on each Milan game. If you guys don't have Facebook, just follow me on Twitter at AC Milan MTL. I also do the same thing as I do on Facebook. So it's two options for you guys to follow me, and it will be greatly appreciated. So guys, thanks so much for watching my live stream. I will be posting